20% flat tax, simple enough that you can file your taxes on a postcard. That size right there. Bobby, I told somebody, I said, that's the simple Tim Geithner can even get that.
Rick Perry announced his abolish Medicare and Social Security proposal today, but knowing how popular that would be with voters, he decided to mask it as a tax reform proposal.
The best representation of my plan is this postcard. This is the size of what we're talking about right here. Taxpayers will be able to fill this out and file their taxes on that. Each individual taxpayer will have a choice. You can continue to pay your taxes, as well as the accountants and the lawyers and under the current tax system that we got, or you can file your taxes on this postcard with the deductions on there for interest on your mortgage, your charitable giving, your state and local taxes, and then deduct those and send it in.
I don't know about the postcard thing. This is the actual form that the Perry campaign put out, which is a full page. Not dissimilar, by the way, from the very first tax returns when income tax was invented. The signature feature of Perry's plan is an alternative 20% individual tax rate, which federal taxpayers could opt to pay, or they could stick with the current tax code and the current tax form and the current IRS. Perry's plan allows for a $12,500 deduction for each dependent, and Perry would allow deductions for mortgage interest, state and local taxes, and charitable gifts for families making less than $500,000 a year. The cover of Rick Perry's plan includes an endorsement from Steve Forbes, who claims it's the most exciting plan since Reagan's. Joining me now is Bruce Bartlett, a former senior policy analyst in the Reagan White House and Deputy Assistant Secretary of Treasury. He's the author of the new book, The Benefit and the Burden, American Tax Reform, Why We Need It and What It Will Take. Thanks for joining me tonight, Bruce.
Happy to be here.
Bruce, what would Ronald Reagan think of this flat tax proposal?
Well, Reagan was very sympathetic to the idea of a flat tax, and he said so publicly on a number of occasions. But when it came time to actually put a proposal on the table, he did not propose a flat tax, and we ended up with the Tax Reform Act of 1986.
Which basically limited deductions in certain ways and spread out rates in what is the traditional progressive form. This is a massive, massive tax cut for the very rich. It's presented as you have your choice which way you want to go, but it's very clear at the top end of the income structure in this country, there's only one way to go, and that would be with his flat tax.
Well, it's worse than that because it's a massive tax increase for a very large portion of the American population. I don't know the exact figures, but I would guess that probably any family making less than $50,000 a year or so is probably going to pay more under Perry's plan than they do now.
And he's very open in the language surrounding this plan, as Herman Cain is, if people go and read enough of it, that this plan anticipates that we really will not have to fund Social Security or Medicare for much longer. He wants people to be able to opt out of Social Security, younger workers, which means they would make no contributions to it. And that flow of contributions is what enables us to pay out Social Security benefits. So this is as much a removal of those social programs as it is a giant tax break.
Well, that's right, but it's all a package deal as far as Republicans are concerned, and it's really rather astonishing given the what has happened in the stock market over the last few years. I'm certainly grateful that I didn't have all of my Social Security contributions in the stock market, and it really surprises me that this idea still has as much political traction as it does.
But it seems they learned their lesson with the polling unpopularity of the Paul Ryan plan to let's not talk about Medicare or Social Security directly. Let's talk about tax reform and cutting taxes, and within that we can get to our goal on Medicare and Social Security.
Perhaps. I think really it's just that the tax issue really animates Republicans, and it's just their bread and butter issue. It's how they judge each other. I'm more, I have a bigger tax cut than you, and, you show me yours.
Yeah, it does seem to be a boldest contest on tax cutting.
Absolutely. It's, I guess these guys are hanging, well, I don't know about Michelle Bachmann, but, they're hanging around the locker room too much, comparing each other, I think. I don't know.
Bruce Bartlett, we're going to have to end it right there. I think it's the proper place to do it. We can't go any further with that example. Bruce, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.